Let's go! Let's go, everybody. Welcome to another edition of SPiTBALLiN. A little bit later in the day today. Welcome to March. Welcome to crappy basketball in New York. Well, we've been doing that for a couple of years. But maybe it might get better. We'll never know. Not as a Knicks fan, but maybe sometime soon. But welcome to the Let's Go Network. This is SPiTBALLiN. And, of course, I want you to like and subscribe and make your friends, tell your friends to follow on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. And, of course, TikTok, where I post videos pretty much every day, at least once a day, on the Let's Go Network. And today's talk is, if it's March and it's 34 degrees outside here in New York, we have to talk about this situation in baseball. The 5 p.m. deadline looming about this whole competitive tax. And I want to really explain it to you guys and really dumb it down for you guys, because a lot of people, just pay the players. It's a multiple tier problem. And you know what? Let's go by the things that they can agree on. Listen, the players want 162 games because they want to get paid. I get it. The owners want a 14-team playoff, which sucks, but they want it because ESPN signed a big money contract deal with them. So that's what they want. So let's take that off the table. Those are the things that are going to happen. And if you don't play 162, let's say you pay 154, you're paying for 162, and you don't have a problem. So let's not talk about things that we can fix. The universal DH is agreed on. It's going to come down to a couple of things. This whole Super 2 thing, listen, we have to get the Major League Baseball players paid more earlier. It wouldn't kill the owners to make the minimum salary for a rookie $1 million. 1.2 if you're a second-year player, and let's make up a number, 1.8 for your third-year player, okay? Then you get into Super 2s and whatnot. They want to make this bonus pool. The owners, the players want $150 million. The owners want 15. Make it simple. 30 teams, $2 million a team, $2.5 million a team you throw into the pool. So you settle on the number between $60 and $75 million as a bonus pool to these guys that, frankly, you're carrying teams, winning MVPs up there for players like that. Like a guy like Vladimir Guerrero, had an awesome year last year. What did he make? He made peanuts. How about Aaron Judge a few years ago, led 52 home runs, was making $600,000. So he would be near the top of the bonus pool. Get these guys some money in their pockets early in their career. They deserve it. Now, on the back end, you got to help the owners limit themselves. So, listen, the tax will act as the deterrent, technically, if you're Steve Cohen. The cap tax number will act as the soft salary cap tax, so that will kind of keep things in check. However, you make the max contract 7 or 8 years. They will never agree to 7. Let's settle on 8. If you go through the history of baseball, any 10-year contract, with the exception of Derek Jeter, hasn't really worked. But we'll see what happens moving forward with that. But the big thing moving forward, for sure, is this tax. The tax that the owner. Now, listen. On this issue, the owners have a real problem, because there's a separation in between the owners, and then there's a separation between the players and the owners. And, it's the haves versus the have-nots. Steve Cohen will pay the money, and most of the bigger franchise, listen, whatever that number they agree on, the players want 245, the players want to make, the owners want to make it 212. The people, complaining this and that, we got to spend more money to compete. I feel bad for the teams in the middle, but we really have to get the act together, the teams, the low market teams, the Marlins, who are doing the right thing, except with that Derek Jeter's nonsense. Well, that would be another show for another day. But people like the Orioles, who completely sell out, and their salary was $21 million or something like that, which is it's an embarrassment. You can't have that and have a competitive sport. But they have to do, I would say make the number 222. And then make that the real first soft number, and make the tax kind of soft from 222 to 237, let's say. And then after 237, then you start to hammer the teams that go over. So it gives you a little bit of leeway, to be a little bit fair. Where the teams in the middle, like, I don't know, maybe the Cardinals of the world, the Colorado Rockies, Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, teams like that do well, but not necessarily killing it at the box office. Because once again, again, people don't think about these things, the law of unintended consequences. The owners want the numbers to go up, but I think they have to. Like the Yankees want to pay more for players because, frankly, they need to. Because a $200 million contract in New York is different than a $200 million contract in Florida or Texas or California. I mean, if the tax bracket is 13% in California, it's going to cost the player $27 million out of his pocket to go to California as opposed to a team in Florida. That's a big deal. Like, there is prestige with the Dodgers and the the Yankees and things like that. But is it worth $27 million to come to New York to get hammered by the press and sit in bad weather most of the year? It's a rough deal. It's an absolute rough deal. But here's the issue. Like, guys like Steinbrenner don't want to go over that tax because they don't want guys like Peter Angelos putting money in his pocket and buying for a new yacht, a new wing on his house, or a new mansion, whatever. There has to be the salary floor. They don't want to do it. They got to do it. Whatever that number is, if you have 26 players on the active roster, the average salary should be $2.5 million for each player spot. Let's just say it's 25, just so I can do the math a little bit easier. Your salary floor must be $62 million. You got to spend $62 million on an active roster. So it would actually help things along, per se. Say, listen, like a team like the Orioles, you know what? I want to dump a bad contract and get one of your players. Let me send them to you, and I'll send you some draft picks so you absorb the contract. That's really not the essence of what people want to do, but that would be better for both parties. Like, people are getting their money spent, and you're still building for the future. Deals like that are going to be happening more and more. For instance, there's a salary floor in the NHL, and the Islanders made a trade earlier in the year. Johnny Boychuk, a defenseman making $5.5 million, who can't play anymore, like physically, like not like he stinks, like he physically can't play, was traded to the Buffalo Sabres just so they could get to the salary floor. So what people are still getting paid, they kind of circumvent the rules, but you're going to see trades like that in Major League Baseball, and I think that's a good thing. Getting the owners to spend up to a certain threshold is a good thing for everybody. You got to be a little competitive, and teams have to do it different ways. The Marlins, the Yankee haters are going to blame Jeter, like, oh, he sold off all the bad, the high-priced players, and he's rebuilding and he quit. He didn't win, so he quit. He's done a crappy job. Well, let's take a step back. He traded, Marcell Ozuna, who's now basically in jail for sexual assault or something like that. Doesn't have to pay him. Giancarlo Stanton, now, he's finally come around a little bit, but he hasn't been a slam dunk as a Yankee. How about Christian Yelich? Listen, he won an MVP with the Milwaukee Brewers, and they signed him to a huge deal, making $23 million. I forget the total value of the deal. It was somewhere between $150 and $200 million. Do you think Milwaukee get out of that deal with Yelich's bad back right now? JT Realmuto made 9 figures being a catcher with the Phillies, and while he's been pretty good, he hasn't lit the world on fire. So you want to kill Jeter for trading those guys? He was smart in trading those guys. And projections of minor leaguers are just fool's gold, basically. But look at what they're building down in Miami. Their pitching staff in the next few years will be formidable beyond belief. By the year 2025, I'm going to say it right now, the Marlins are going to be contenders for the World Series. And it will be all thanks to Derek Jeter and hiring the right people. He has the first women GM down there in Kim Eng, doing a fantastic job. She's well respected in baseball, doing a great job. But we got to fix these BS problems. Otherwise, this sport won't make it in good shape to 2025. But so, owners, get your stuff together. Players, usually I'm pro-owner on these issues. Players, you got to dig in a little bit here. You got to hold the owners to the fire a little bit. You need this salary floor. You need to boost up the guys. And you got to fight for those things. The other stuff you can give away. But those are the keys you can't give up, and you got to win this fight. And it will be best for the sport moving forward. I'm not saying to strike or hold out or whatever, but it's important enough to sit out and stay out, at least for a little while. So, guys, get something done. Make some common sense, guys. I tell you all the time, right? That's it for this edition of Spitballin'. You can catch me on the Let's Go Network, on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Next show, I promise, we'll talk more about the NBA Top 75 and why it was stupid to put guys like the Greek Freak at 18 and Damian Lillard at whatever number he has and Anthony Davis in that conversation right now. Because just because they made the top 75 has no bearing if they'll make the top 100. Or if they did it next year, if they'd make the top 76. Stupidity all bound. Until next time, remember to make some common sense out of your sports and your life. This is Dollar Bill saying bye for now.